The conquest of Mount Everest is one of the most extraordinary achievements in the history of exploration and mountaineering. Towering at 8,848.86 meters, 29,031.7 feet, Everest had remained an unconquered challenge for decades, despite numerous attempts by some of the world's most skilled climbers. The mountain, known as Chomolungma to Tibetans and Sagarmatha to Nepalis, was first identified as the world's highest peak in 1856 during the British Great Trigonometric Survey of India and was later named after Sir George Everest, a former Surveyor General of India. For much of the early 20th century, the only possible access to the mountain for Western climbers was from Tibet, as Nepal was closed to foreigners. This led to a series of British expeditions in the 1920s and 1930s, which, despite coming close, failed to reach the summit. One of the most legendary attempts occurred in 1924, when British climbers George Mallory and Andrew Irvine launched a final push toward the summit. The two men disappeared into the mist high on the mountain and were never seen alive again. The mystery surrounding their fate remains one of Everest's greatest unsolved stories. Whether they reached the summit before perishing is still unknown. Mallory's body was discovered in 1999, lying at 8,155 meters, 26,760 feet, but crucial evidence, such as his camera, which might have contained proof of a successful ascent, has never been found. Several more British attempts followed in the 1930s, but Everest continued to defy climbers. After World War II, the political landscape shifted, and with Tibet closed following the Chinese takeover, Nepal became the new gateway to Everest. In 1950, the country finally opened its borders to foreign climbers, allowing expeditions to attempt the mountain from the southern route, through the Khumbu Valley. By 1953, the British were determined to finally claim the summit. A major expedition, led by Colonel John Hunt, was meticulously planned, incorporating the latest climbing techniques, advanced oxygen equipment, and a strong team of climbers and Sherpas. Among them was Edmund Hillary, a rugged and determined mountaineer from New Zealand, and Tenzing Norgay, a Sherpa of Nepalese-Tibetan descent with unmatched experience in high-altitude climbing. The team established a series of camps on the mountain, pushing gradually higher despite brutal conditions, unpredictable weather, and the constant threat of avalanches. The first serious summit attempt was made by Tom Bourdelin and Charles Evans on May 26, 1953, but they were forced to turn back just 91 meters, 300 feet, from the top due to oxygen equipment failure. The final opportunity fell to Hillary and Tenzing, who set out from their high camp, Camp 9, on the night of May 28 to 29. Climbing through the freezing darkness, they encountered formidable obstacles, including the Hillary Step, a nearly 12-meter, 40-foot, vertical rock face near the summit, which Hillary famously had to carve a path through using his ice axe. After an exhausting ascent, the two men finally stood at the summit at 11:30 a.m. on May 29, 1953. They spent about 15 minutes at the top, where Tenzing planted flags representing Britain, Nepal, India, and the United Nations, and Hillary took a now famous photograph of his climbing partner. The exact details of who stepped on the summit first were not revealed at the time, as Tenzing later explained that it was a shared victory for both men. The descent was treacherous, but they returned safely to camp, where the news was relayed to the outside world. The announcement of their success reached London on June 2, 1953, just in time for the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II, adding to the historic moment. Hillary and Tenzing were immediately hailed as heroes. Hillary was knighted by the Queen, and Tenzing was celebrated as Nepal's most honored figure. The success of the 1953 expedition marked the beginning of a new era in Himalayan mountaineering, inspiring climbers from all over the world to attempt Everest. Since then, thousands have reached the summit, but Everest remains one of the most challenging and dangerous climbs on Earth. Advances in technology and commercial expeditions have made the climb more accessible, yet the mountain continues to claim lives every year due to avalanches, severe weather, and the extreme effects of high altitude. Despite these dangers, the first ascent by Hillary and Tenzing remains one of the greatest feats of human endurance, courage, and determination, a testament to the unbreakable will to conquer the unknown.